Hi, my name is Zam. I'm a high school student and a certified ethical hacker. Entering high school in 2021, right after quarantine, was an interesting schooling experience because you had to wear a mask at all times when you were indoors. And regardless of how annoying it was, I'm glad that the teachers and the administration cared about the kids' health. However, I'm not proud of how you treat your phone and computer. Why can't we give our devices the same care that we give our youth? Using a VPN is like putting a mask on a kid because both a computer and a child cost way too much money. So you want to make sure that you keep them healthy. Which brings us to today's episode, why you need a VPN. So what is a VPN? A VPN stands for a virtual private network. And what it does is it gives you more security when you connect to the internet, regardless if you're at home, at work, or on a public Wi Fi. A VPN masks your IP address, so when you're using the internet, you can't be tracked and your activity online is private, which keeps your identity safe. Think of a VPN as like a covered bridge or tunnel for all your data to go through. It blocks your IP address and it stops any prying eyes online from seeing your data in transit. Using a VPN makes you virtually untraceable because your IP is masked and nobody can pinpoint who you are and where you are. So, what does a VPN do? A VPN encrypts your data when you go online. It sends shielded data to your ISP or your internet service provider to make your connection when you get online secure. Your VPN then deciphers the data so it's usable to whoever you're sending it to. The same goes for when data is sent to you. The VPN encrypts it before it is sent. Without a VPN, when you connect to the internet, your device sends the request straight to your ISP or straight to the Wi Fi network. And this means the data transfers between you and your destination are not encrypted, and this makes you vulnerable to anybody who wants to view what you're doing online. And this means that your IP can be traced, which can expose your whole identity. So let's get into 5 reasons why you need a VPN. First reason, as we mentioned before, you want to keep your data private, but specifically, you want to keep your data private from your ISP. Because of the relationship between you and your ISP is able to track everything you do online, such as what sites you visit, the time you spent browsing, how you spent browsing. And this depends on the terms of service that you blindly agreed to whenever you got your contract for your wireless plan. So your ISP is able to track this information and it can sell your data to advertisers with or without your permission. With all this said, your data should be kept confidential otherwise, according to most internet service providers. And in the US, at least, ISPs are required to keep track of all your browsing history logs for 90 days. If the government wants access to your internet history, the ISP has to hand it over to the government immediately. And in most cases, for national security, the government doesn't even need a warrant to access all of your internet data. So, local law enforcement or federal law enforcement could convict you based off of accessing your browsing history from your ISP. And even if you're not doing anything shady and illegal, which you probably aren't, you might not want your ISP documenting every single website and URL you visit. So that's why you should use a VPN to cover your tracks. And even if you're not trying to hide any sensitive data, at the very least, it should give you peace of mind. The second reason is you don't want to use public Wi Fi without a VPN. So let's say you're at an airport or you're at your local restaurant or cafe. You might want to use public Wi Fi that's offered at that location because it seems safe, right? It's just Wi Fi. What bad could happen? And you're kind of correct. A free internet connection, at least in airports or businesses, isn't as bad as it used to be because in recent years, everything has mostly switched over to HTTPS instead of HTTP. And the S stands for security protocol that keeps you safe by sending your data through an SSL layer or a secure sockets layer, which keeps your data confidential and encrypted, so it's not shared by everybody on the network. And this makes you safer for when you share sensitive information over those public Wi-Fi networks, like when you pay for things and your banking credentials or your private login information. However, most of these networks that you use in the public are not password protected, so a hacker, doesn't even have to be a skilled hacker, can still access these networks and potentially act maliciously against you while you are on that network. So that's why you should log into a VPN before you connect to any public Wi-Fi, so you can remain hidden on the network. So the VPN will hide your identity on the open internet connection and encrypt your data as you send it and receive it. So even if there's like a cyber criminal on the same network as you, you'll be safe. The third reason is you want to protect your personal data from big business. No, I know I go on these long anti-capitalist rants on this channel, and most of them really make no sense. And I'm just using whatever little knowledge I learned in my economics summer school class. But you should probably try to keep as much of your definitely private information, but any private information away from these large businesses and advertisers. So a lot of retailers will offer free apps and free Wi-Fi to shoppers, which makes it a great incentive and makes it hard not to use them. And if you download these apps or use these networks, you might get access to exclusive coupons or great new deals. It's so tempting. And a lot of physical locations block your cell service within the structures to try to get you to use your Wi-Fi. Like, I really love Target, you know? It's just a great spot to walk around and just buy nothing and have a great time. It's like the amusement park, but you never have any Wi-Fi or cell reception in Target. Maybe they're trying to get you to go onto the Target Wi-Fi. Why? To maybe you have your data be used to sold to advertisers or to offer you exclusive information or deals only possible through the Target app or Target website. So you want to have a VPN to protect your personal data so you're able to safely access these apps and free Wi-Fi networks while you're shopping at malls or stores or inside these locations, so you're not forced to display and give up all the data that you are sending or receiving while you're inside those areas. The fourth reason is to protect proprietary information. Many companies have like remote or hybrid work policies, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, which means a lot of people are working from home, and it's pretty convenient for employees, right? You don't have to go to the office. You can sit on Zoom calls with no pants on. However, there's a security concern that comes along with this, and it's having remote workers log on to company servers, and that brings the possibility of potentially malicious attackers hacking into corporate networks, because you don't know how secure an employee's connection is. Because while most employees are working from home, where you can assume they have a safe connection, they could be out and about on their laptop, secretly going on a coffee run and moving their mouse around, so to their boss it seems like they're active, but all the meanwhile they're just exposing this company piece of property and this company information onto a public network. And if that connection is intercepted, active data could go from an employee to a hacker off of the Wi-Fi that the employee is using. So providing all employees with remote access VPNs will help keep a company's files and proprietary information and projects safe. The fifth reason is maybe you just want to access blocked content. We've all seen these videos where people using Netflix in Australia have all the coolest shows and TV shows that you don't have in America. Why do they get that? I don't know, man. It's unfair. So you want to like have access to all of that information that you should be getting when you pay for it. But then again, all those capitalist rants I go on, you're not going to get it. Why? because they just don't feel like giving it to you. So a VPN does more than protect your data. It can it can unlock media that you didn't have access to. So let's say you're a citizen in a country with a strict government that limits you or does not allow you to visit certain websites or information that, let's say, is like opposing to the view of the leading rulers or politicians. A VPN can make it look like you are logged in through a different location, so you have access to that blocked websites or media. And since the VPN can keep your actual location and IP cloaked, you can't be pinpointed, which is actually a big security concern because if you're looking through the work of the opposing political parties, media, and information, you might actually become a target for whoever is in power or whoever wants to stop that opposing political party. And you can also, as I said before, you can find media that you just can't get otherwise. Like Netflix and Hulu may offer different types of programming in different locations. So if you're in the US, you're going to have a different Netflix catalog than what's available in the UK. And the VPN can make it seem like you're on the other side of the world, unlocking this exclusive content. Okay, now all this theoretical knowledge is great. You now know so much about VPNs, but what are you actually going to do with that information? If you want to actually make use of this video, you need to get a VPN. But what VPN do you get? Which one is right for you? Fret not. I have the solution to all your problems. Okay, first, like the video and subscribe. Then go to my channel and watch my next video, which will help you choose the right VPN product for you. But for now, thank you for watching and thank you for your time.